How to eat oysters. Oysters are a highly sought-after delicacy in many parts of the world. They are usually eaten in the colder months of the year and are often served raw, but can also be deep-fried or baked in a pie. This film will show you how to serve oysters raw when they're actually still alive. Oysters are a great way to impress a date and are thought to have aphrodisiac qualities. Here's the Videojug guide to preparing and eating oysters. Step 1. Select. Start by sorting through your oysters and selecting the ones which are tightly closed. Discard any oysters which have opened, as these are dead and are no longer suitable for eating. Give the oysters a quick wash before serving them. Step 2. Shuck. Shucking an oyster is the process of cutting the shell open and loosening the oyster from the shell. Start by holding the oyster down with a cloth against a flat surface. Use an oyster knife with a handguard and insert the tip of the knife into the small hole at the hinge of the oyster shell. Wiggle the knife and push it all the way inside the shell to break the hinge. Angle the knife upwards as you push in so that you cut the abductor muscle which holds the oyster to the top shell. Remove the top shell, keeping the bottom shell flat to conserve the oyster juices. Then, cut the abductor muscle holding the oyster onto the bottom shell so that it is lying loose on the shell, ready for serving. Step 3. Eat. Try to serve the oysters immediately after shucking on a bed of crushed ice. Before eating an oyster, you can use an oyster fork to check that it is completely loosened from its shell. You can also squeeze some lemon juice onto the oyster, or spoon a sauce such as shallot vinegar onto it, or eat it with no condiment at all. Pick the oyster shell up, keeping it flat so as not to spill the juices. Tip the shell up and let the oyster and its juices slide into your mouth. Some people like to give the oyster a slight chew, others prefer to swallow it whole. Bon appétit!